looking up, and you're, you know, chopping through a dense jungle and everything. What kind of a, what happens to your equipment? Is this something that you have to really, really watch because you are in a jungle situation?
Well, it's hard to watch, because you know, a lot of times we didn't get clean stuff for a month. We had to go without different equipment.
So your uniform looked a little on the...
Little ragged, a little dirty, tore. And also, you get sores on your arms and that, you know, from the jungle. You get jungle rot and that too, you know, be all festered up, you know. Because
you couldn't really clean?
No, no.
You mentioned something in your rucksack that you would have, you know, toiletries and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you're not talking about after shaving.
No, no. Razor,
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Writing material,
yeah.
you know, thing. Right.
Okay, how about your equipment then? I mean, you know, you...
Oh, terrible. I noticed one time, you know, when you had to keep your equipment clean. I was in a firefight once and my rifle jammed up, you know. And then I had a friend alongside me had a cleaning rod, so I had to shove it down the barrel to get the ammo, the shell out of it. Then after that, I learned you got to keep it real clean, because it'd be so wet and dirty. You had to make sure your magazines were clean, your ammo was clean. Otherwise, it would jam up on you. You
How about grenades?
Grenades, yeah, they were bad too, because a lot of times if we didn't use them that much when we're out on these patrols, you know, moving from one site to the other, a lot of times, a couple times we had where the grenades fell off the pistol belts and they blew up, you know, right, you know, in the formation that we're walking along, you know, take a couple guys, get hurt or killed, you know.
And all because of the jungle.
Yeah.
The humidity and, oh, I don't know. I think we've covered a lot of what I was going to ask in that area, but I know that you were also in Dakto.
Yeah, I went up there like in the fall.
Okay.
It was in November, I think, when I went up there.
Was that 67?
October 67.
Because
right.
our map shows it as 67. And what was the fighting like there?
Oh, it was very rough. You know, we were fighting the North Vietnamese. We were always getting in firefights all the time up there. I remember one hill, 814, was pretty bad, you know. I lost a lot of people in my squad on that hill, you know. And I had like 10, 11 guys in my squad, and they got down to 3, you know. And after you get done fighting for a day or more, you know, sometimes it was longer, and you'd have to go down and pick up the dead bodies and with body bags and then take them up to the LZ and have them evac out.
LZ's landing zone?
Right, landing zone with the helicopters. You usually chop down an area where a helicopter can come in and pick up people, wounded people and that. So,
if you were down to 3, then how did you get replacements?
They sent people out,
okay,
new recruits.
New recruits?
So you'd have to, you know, break them in and everything. And they were everybody was scared, you know, and especially when we were fighting. We had people just have mental breakdowns, you know. I almost did myself, but somehow I kept myself going. You know, it was a scary situation.
At this point, you were the leader.
Yeah, I was the squad leader at that time.
And sometimes I think when you're the leader, you force yourself because everybody's looking to you to tell them what to do. And you know, and as you mentioned earlier, if you were doing the map and the compass, you had some control at least.
Right, right. Yeah, because a lot of times you had to just squad sides would go out on patrol. And then we go out and search and patrol missions, you know, around the areas looking for enemy. Or we'd have to, people were supposed to be all out of the area, and anything search and destroy anything around the area. You had to come to a village, you burn the huts down, destroy what animals you could, and the ones that were worthwhile, like water buffaloes, they could use them for the fields, you know, and we'd have them evac'd out on Hueys. They come in with big straps and hook them up and fly them out to another village, friendly village, you know.
Who gave the orders then? I mean, when you say search and destroy.
Well, it come down from the commanding officer of the company, where he got it from his headquarters, you know. And
how did they determine that? I mean, was it intelligence or?
Yeah, Yeah, they give them so much longer to get out of the area. Usually there was no people in the area. Like, very seldom you'd find anybody around, you know. It's just left everything behind. And then, you know, one time we were in this one area and we found some caves and crawled down in. There was an underground hospital in there. There was medical supply, but nobody was in there. And they even had running water down there, like an underground spring, you know. I thought, boy, that was pretty neat, you know. What they used for different, to stay away from us, I guess, you know.
But it's interesting that you bumped into that. I mean,
yeah, we're just kind of scared, but you go down, you got to check it out, you know. Somebody's got to, so.
Somebody's got to.
Right.
Yeah, but not me. One of the things that I've talked to with other vets is Agent Orange. What can you tell me about your experience with Agent Orange?
They use that a lot to clear the foliage out around, like certain areas where they think you were going to go in. So they drop that and clear the foliage around. But then sometimes they drop napalm and phosphorus. Already we had it dropped right on us, you know, and it's stuff burning around you, get lands on you, burns, you know, and we'd use our water that we had, and otherwise you urinate on it to put it out, you know. The officer, company commander said, do what you got to do, get it out. You know?
You know, at the time, did you realize that Agent Orange was going to be the problem that it is?
No, we never. Nobody
really
told us anything about that stuff. You know, you find that out later on in years. You know.
That's what I figured.
Right.
Let's take a moment to just segue into going all the way back to the Central Highland area, because we've talked a lot about the jungle, but we haven't talked a whole lot about the Central Highland area. What was that like? What was the country like?
If anybody knows La Crosse area, where it goes into Minnesota, if you come into Minnesota down in La Crosse, the big hills up there, they're sort of like that, or bigger, and a lot of times it'd be low clouds all around them and everything. They're mountains, you know, they're pretty good size. You know, it'd take a long time to get up there. Take a day or so, you might climb one, you know, it would, the top.
And what were the people like in this area? Where
I was at was mountain yards. Like the women, they never wore nothing to cover their breasts, and the men wore loincloths, you know. It was just kind of like Indian type, you know. I remember one time we found where they weren't around, they were gone, you know, the village was destroyed. We found a bunch of crossbows. So then we took them back, we played with them for a while, see how they work, and it was pretty neat.
But you're talking about quite a backward country then.
Oh yes, you know, it was, I couldn't believe it, you know, just seeing this stuff, you know.
Well, as I said, it's so different, because coming from here to go to someplace like that, it would be very hard to, you know, I don't know, it'd be like it wasn't real.
Right.
It'd be like it wasn't real at all. Well, I think you've covered a lot about, you know, what it was like when you hit a village, for instance, and how you either destroyed it or took livestock and you know, put them at a friendlier village or whatever. And it was all through communications that you figured that out? Because you certainly didn't know that, you know.
No, it's all through communications, you know.
Because you're going into a village, and how would you know if there's even anybody in there?
Well, you check everything. They have tunnels and everything around the villages, and you check their different storage areas. You'd find weapons and that. Sometimes when you'd burn the villages, they would go off and that, you know.
I didn't realize that you're saying there were tunnels. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, they did tunnels all through, you know. I remember one hill we went up, they had the whole hill tunneled off. They'd be going up and down the hill and around the hill. I guess they ran up and down and then around to shoot at us, you know. Because that's one of the firefights I was in. I lost them guys. That was in that area. And then I even thought I got shot because stuff hit the ground and hit my face. I felt my hand, you know, and there was nothing there, you know. I thought, but I was all right, you know, because it hurt, the rocks flying up and hitting me.
Hitting you.
Right.
if you were in a squad with 10, 11 people, and you lost so many, and you were down to 3, did that make you 3 a lot closer, or?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You're buying real good.